We have a special guest, so check us out. Stay tuned to us.
All right, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Thursday, guys. We are at Bayou City Cigars.
Oh my God!
We're doing this little something different today. We well, I can't smoke just yet because can't find a lighter that works. But I am going to be smoking. Well, shit. Let me start this stuff off correct. We're doing 100% stuff. Tina Fey is kind of. I have no idea. Her husband made her late today, so she's doing things she should have done before we got on. And so I'm just gonna say, won't he do that? Come on, come on. Tina, we're live and you're focusing
I'm
on
sorry,
that.
I'm sorry, I'm
So
sorry, I'm
I'm
sorry.
K2W and I
Hey,
have
I'm Tina J.
welcome to Lipstix.
Lipstix. Hey, y'all, how y'all
we
doing?
finally got that shit on the same time. God damn it. Anyway, what's going on is I'm smoking a Mila Diaz today. I think I said that right. This is a awesome stick. I've had it once and I'm about to try it again. It's a really good stick. It's a full body stick, which everybody knows I only smoke full body. Tina, what you gonna smoke today? Thank you, bro.
Today I'm about to smoke this Liga, and I haven't had one in quite a long time, so I'm really excited.
Oh, you smoking my
about
favorite.
it. I know this is your favorite.
T52 is my favorite. Everybody knows that.
Good choice. Good choice.
Matter of fact, last night, I don't know if it was the alcohol or T52, but I had such a buzz.
Both.
I got such a buzz in the garage. I don't know. My dreams were really weird last night.
Too much information.
Too much information. Anyway, we have some wonderful topics. We have an awesome guest today. I think she did a promo before we got started to announce our guest. But before we even go into our guest, let me just tell you, it has been a long, trying week.
Yeah.
A long, trying week. Leading up to from last Tuesday when we filmed up until to now, we had a small technical difficulties, and we are here today. We love being at Bayou City. Shout out to Bayou City Cigars.
Shout out.
And Daryl Pretlow. Yeah, that dude right there. What's up, Daryl?
What's up?
Anyway, we just want to thank him for always being so welcome to us filming here, and we really enjoy it. We do want to verbally apologize to our crowd, our audience, for missing Tuesday, but we are here. I promise you it's going to be a dynamic show
You
today.
guys are worth the wait.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Before I go there, let's get these credits out the way. Soapbox Heroes, appreciate you. We are just a few weeks from Houston Cigar Week. Everybody knows Memorial Weekend is Houston Cigar Week. We are a few weeks away. We are very excited about Houston Cigar Week. We'll be releasing some things in the next couple of hours, but we have coming on, starting on Tuesday, we will be at Emmett Cigar Lounge. We will be Wednesday.
That's Lennon night, right?
That's Lennon night. Havana night, Lennon night.
Yep.
Wednesday, we will be at C-Dot on Main Street. It's Camo night that night. Thursday, we are kicking off our meet and greet at Stogie's Houston on Westheimer. Also, for you VIPs, that's your night. That's the biggest night for you guys. We're going to have dinner, live band. Oscar has a lot of things in store for us there that night. So not only is it the meet and greet, we also will have our VIP. And then we'll leave there at 7 o'clock and we'll go to 5 Central. And we'll kill the 5 Central with DJ Remarkable until 2 o'clock. So we have that. After that, we have Friday. That's a surprise. will tell you about it. It's the She Too Smokes. She Smokes Too. God Jesus. Don't get mad at me, Crystal. She Smokes Too night. We have some things in store for you there. Saturday, we kicking it off with the golf tournament for you wonderful, handsome gentlemen and lovely ladies who want to play golf. And from there, we will have ladies will be at the
Spa
spa.
day.
We'll be at the
Notice
spa,
how
guys.
that's the one we really, really excited
We'll
about.
be at the spa, guys, from 8 to 2. We tell you to go ahead on and buy the link for the spa. Then you can reserve your treatment. All we need you to do is get a service at the spa so you can have full access to the spa. And then we will end it around 1 to 2 o'clock at on the rooftop at the spa.
Yep.
And that's where Lipstix podcast will
Yeah,
be.
check us out. We'll be there.
Filming there. I know some of you ladies talking about I was gonna be in the nude. That's cool too. That's cool too. But we won't be
We won't
filming
put you
that.
on camera.
We won't be filming that. We won't be filming that. But it's cool. But we will. If you have on the bathing
he's
suit,
sorry.
wear it well. Wear it well. Prepare. You know, summer bodies are made in the winter. Never
That's
mind. I ain't
right.
gonna have that conversation. Then we'll end Saturday night at it's called Sonona Studios. We have a lot planned for you there. It's gonna be hosted by TCA, Texas Cigar Aficionado, Mr. Kevin Watkins himself. And then Sunday we will end it as Sunday Fun Day Sundress. Oh, Saturday night is where you rep your brand. More of a little casual. Friday is dress to impress, but Saturday is a little casual. Rep your brand, whatever your brand may be. Rep your brand that day. And then, like I said, Sunday is Soto Sunday, Fun Day, Sundress, and Seersuckers, I believe. Something to that nature. Anyway, I've spent enough time talking about Houston Cigar Week. You will hear me every week leading up to it talking about Houston Cigar Week because we are just a matter of 3 weeks away. We are very, very excited. And
Tickets
then I'm
are
taking
sold
Ovation.
out.
VIPs are sold out.
You can still get general.
So just get general. It's all right. You're going to still have a good time.
Absolutely.
I promise you.
Absolutely.
If you've never rocked with Houston before, you will for always and forever rock with Houston after this week is Memorial Weekend ends. So, again, I promise I won't bore you guys with it. But once a week, we're leading up to it. And other than that, we're going to take a small break. We're going to come back with our wonderful guests.
Hey.
And ladies, we do need you to chime in on this. This is for us today. We have this one gentleman. We can stick it to him. So it's
Let's
for us.
do it.
It's for us today. We're not gonna take 5 minutes. We're only gonna take 2 minutes, and then we're gonna be right back. We all gotta light a stick. All right, guys, welcome back. Tina.
Hey.
Since I brought up the topic, but and I need to give an intro on it, I'm gonna let you introduce our guest today, and then we'll go right into what we gotta do.
Well, we are happy to have the expert on today.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
My brother from another mother.
We thought that we should have some male perspective, some male energy, ladies. So this is your chance to say what you want to say. Don't hurt them, ladies.
It's okay. It's okay. I generally give my disclaimer.
We talk a lot of shit. We're going to say a lot of shit.
Be careful what you say, because I don't want Tina to kick you off our page.
No.
She gets sensitive. Like, that's why, we always have this medium balance, because she the sensitive one, like, and I the one that I don't give two shits. Y'all know that's my thing.
Not one fuck.
Not one fucking fuck. I don't give two fucks.
That's where I got the word inappropriate from, because she said, that's inappropriate. I'm like, but it's true.
So, guys, you guys know we have Delvin, the expert here. If you've ever met Delvin, you will totally understand why he is called the mad scientist, the expert. He gives a different flair. Like, talking to him, it's nothing as long as, and I'm older than him.
Blows your mind, huh?
As long as I've been living, the things he say always blows my mind. Blows my mind. I'm always confused. Like, really? Okay, now that you think about it. So we call him Delvin the expert, the mad scientist, because he can, the dude, I think he gets bored and starts dissecting things. But today's topic, Mr. Delvin,
yes, ma'am.
Tina, is going to be our modern women marriage material. Now, I got this topic from a cat that has another podcast called Kevin Samuels.
Ooh, don't say his name.
I said it.
You about to start some stuff saying his name.
I call him Saint Kevin.
Woo,
you call him
Kevin
Saint.
Samuels.
He is doing the Lord's work.
Hey, listen.
Well, I don't know about
I didn't like Kevin Samuels at first, but
I've always
I have binge watched him now while I'm working at home, and I remember I like some
you
of the
and
stuff
I
he had
having
to
this
say.
conversation. You thought he was rude and arrogant.
I did,
and I like that though.
I did.
I do.
I know
like
you
that.
like his forward.
I like that. I mean, and he medium brown. It's all right. I like that too. But well, I don't know. Got a little. Well, never mind. So in this particular segment, he was having technical difficulties, so I didn't really get the gist of a lot of things, but I got a lot of things in the gist of not getting a lot of things.
You always will.
Always do. And I maybe the one time I can agree to not agree. I took a lot of notes, ladies. I'm just telling you, I took a lot of notes.
She studied, y'all.
I studied.
I am unprepared.
Don't
so whatever I say is coming raw because I did not get to study.
And so it's going to kind of backdoor our second conversation if we can get to it. Forgive me, guys. I am menopausal, so I'm very hot right now. But it says a modern woman is one who truly has it all.
Oh, so that's the definition.
They have everything. They have the marriage for some. Some don't have the marriage, but they have the job. They have the great, beautiful children. They have a suitcase already packed, ready to go.
Travel.
They have everything. So that's a modern woman.
Okay.
So the question is, are modern women marriage material? You asked that because we've had this conversation several times about, do we need a husband being modern women?
Right.
Do we need a husband
to make you whole? Whole woman.
But remember, some women like, I don't need a husband. I just need somebody to fuck. I just need somebody to sleep with. Yeah. Every once in a while at night, I want somebody to hold me.
Yeah.
So when Kevin asked the question, when it popped up across my screen, I was like, It's gonna be some shit tonight.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
It's gonna be some shit. So, before we even get into my notes and different things, do you feel? I think you've been married 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
Do you feel that modern women need are marriage material? Like in your search, or even where you're searching, do you just
Yeah.
think that the general woman before you met your wife was there a lot of marriage material out there?
You know what? And I can just speak for myself in my personal travels. I would say yes. I mean,
That they were marriage material?
they were. I can't lie and say, oh, they weren't. That's why I didn't. You know,
Are we
a
talking
lot-
about the independent?
So
Can't
Amari-
nobody
So-
do
so-
nothing
yeah,
for me.
So-
that's the
I'm on my shit. I
I
got
got
my
it all.
job. I got it all.
I got it all.
Yeah.
Are you marriage material? Because that's when.
well, and here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say. To me, they were leaning more toward a traditional woman. And I think that's kind of where the disconnect comes in when they say, I want to be a modern woman, but I want a traditional man. You're going to have to pick one. You know, I want to be a boss bitch, but I also
Want to be submissive.
But I also want to be submissive. You got to pick a struggle, sis.
But how so boss bitches can be submissive.
Absolutely.
But how does a man figure that out in just general terms of meeting a woman sitting out here? Like, I wear a frown on my face all the time.
Right.
I'm really deep.
Oh, he
deep,
talked
deep,
about
deep
that
down
too.
inside.
Kevin talked about that
I
too.
got
Yeah.
a nice spirit,
Women not
but-
being
Just-
approachable because they don't
Right.
smile. They don't
Right.
seem
But
approachable.
I don't have to smile. I'm gonna tell you, Kevin
it's
Samuel
nice. Look.
said on why? Because have a conversation with me. I may be smiling because I don't know, the negativity may be surrounding me. I don't know.
True.
But Kevin Samuel said that to this woman, and I feel bad for these women sometimes. Like, why do you get on his show and torture yourself? He told
Right.
that woman, what does she have
Right.
that would make her marriage material? She says, I'm cute. And he said, well, once I remove the cuteness, what else
you
do
got?
you have? He said, you are cute though.
Yeah.
But once you remove the cuteness, what else do you have?
Some
And then-
substance.
yeah, what is your substance? And she said she had a
Right.
job and all this other stuff. So at the end of the day, she is approachable.
Right.
She's cute. You know,
She got a job.
She got a job.
She taking care of
She
her
taking
business.
care of herself. But
Right.
what makes her marriage material? So what
Right.
do you what were you looking for
Right.
to say you were marriage looking for the person in a woman to say that the wife was marriage material?
And you know, it's
And
funny
we,
because
we
it
don't need that dick.
Yeah. And look, it gets glossed over a lot, and it's really, really simple. To me, the most important thing for me as far as being marriage material and wife material was do I get to be myself?
Okay.
You know, because if I have to be somebody other than myself to get you to like me or marry me, then I'm starting off losing. You know,
Okay.
a lot of married guys, I know them, I hang out with them, I've known them for years. Where they are, how they are when they're around me or in this setting versus when they get home,
They're
two,
different.
they're two completely different people. They're like that's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing.
Can't be
You know,
themselves.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, you
want
talking
me to
all that-
smile and you want me to smile and be Mrs. Missy, and then when I get home, I may not be the smiling Missy Missy, but I don't smile in person. But at home,
Right.
I think I'm pretty cool. I just like to float around, you know.
Yeah,
Fucking-
and I'll even tell people, man, because I got married later in life. The thing that made me not want to get married was talking to married guys.
I agree.
I was
because
like,
the
wow,
same
I
thing-
don't want to be in that shit. That's terrible.
We talked about this on
mean,
the show, Tino.
yeah,
about-
Yeah.
Married men are the worst advocates for marriage. It's not even. We won't even
Yeah.
leave
Because-
y'all.
Well,
you guys
spe-
decide.
married men that are not happy.
Well, I'm saying
Even
that-
if
in
they
that
are
situation.
happy. First of all, most
saying-
of them tell everybody that they happy because they be all on social media.
Yeah.
My wife.
man.
wife. But I can't get your ass to stay home. No.
Right. Well, so I'm just saying the majority
That point.
of men that I've ran into. I mean, there's outliers that they genuinely are happy.
So it scares other men. It scares single men.
When they talk to single men, I'm like, oh man, I don't fuck that. You know.
Well, are you, because of what their perception of their marriage and how they
Exactly.
perceive it, then
Exactly.
they give you the mindset that you go in saying, I don't want this, I don't want that.
So you automatically
you're-
looking for it in a woman to
right,
not
but
be.
he's messing himself up because he's saying what he doesn't want. he doesn't know what he doesn't want
True.
because he hasn't been married before.
He just going by what
just
he
going
hearing
by
from
what he
these,
hears from
these
from
their experiences.
their experiences.
Yeah.
And I think me waiting later, I kind of had the benefit of age and wisdom that I wouldn't have had at 25 or even 30.
Yeah.
And
I got married
I
at
had the
36,
time
so,
to get to know myself better and come fully into my space as a man to say, you know, look, this is what I like. This is what I'm into. This is my agenda. Either, you know, you want in or you want out. And if not, that's cool too. I may not be the guy for you. Have a blessed day. I'm okay with that.
Let's get back to the part about changing, because I know that's a concern for a lot of guys. Not a woman trying to come in and change who they are, not being able to not have freedom, but just to kind of be themselves.
Oh, Tina, we getting off subject, man.
No, that's what he said.
Modern, and this is kind of circling
you
back to
saying,
modern women.
Modern women change
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. I think the disconnect is you want a traditional man, but you want to be a modern woman. You don't want to do the traditional wife things.
Right,
I agree.
And that's a problem.
right.
So Kevin Samuel, and that's further down on my list of notes. But since we here, 'cause
Let me see these notes.
get off my notes, man. Since Tina
Oh,
Fey,
is she cheating?
I'm cheating, and I never cheat.
She looking on your paper?
I'm cheating. I'm looking on your
I never
paper.
prepare for a topic because we get these topics the day before and we go with it. But this topic, I know, has a lot of
Ins and outs and-
It's multifaceted.
It's
It is.
multifaceted, and I felt a little intimidated. I'm going to say this.
Why?
Rare that I'm intimidated, but I had the expert here with me today, and I said, "Fuck this nigga. He is not going to come and run my show." That's what I said. That's what I
Take
said.
over it.
So I prepared. Well, I normally come flying off the hook with it. I prepared for it. So Kevin Samuel did mention that in a marriage, there is ups and downs.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? So when you're talking to married men, and at that particular time that they're talking to you, they're complaining or whatever, and you were talking about women want a traditional man, but they are modern women and not a traditional woman. So Kevin Samuel was kind of stating that they don't make our grandmas and our great grandmas anymore because
Right.
he said, and this is where, ladies, don't get mad at me. I'm just repeating, and we're not on. I don't think. I'm just repeating what I heard. But
Right.
he said we give up. So he said marriage is about ups and downs. It's hills and valleys. When it get tough, women, modern women, we leave.
Right.
80% of divorces are filed by women
That's true.
versus men. So modern women leave when it gets tough, when the road gets hard to travel, versus when our grandparents, our great grandparents,
They just stayed.
And I have
Y'all
to,
ain't
you know,
shit.
We are shit. When
It's
they
fact,
were
though.
married, the reason why they can say that their marriages
Lasted 40, 50, 60,
years
70.
is because they were not selfish. And so he said modern women were selfish.
Well, I think part of that too, and I don't know if you touched on it.
Before
Was
you say that, just remember, this did not come from Kimberly.
yeah,
This is a quote.
yeah, they can send the smoke to me. It's cool. I don't care.
I take the smoke though.
You know.
I'm used to it though.
So part of that is, and I don't know if he touched on it, was that lack of economic mobility that
Okay.
modern women have.
Okay.
You know, like you talked about. Oh, me and your uncle, me and your grandmother, we've been married for 40 years, but you've been cheating for 35 of them.
But he did say that.
You know, so, and I think part of that too is, you know, Willie Earl didn't have Instagram and Snapchat. You know,
So Willie Earl, which was your uncle, or Maggie Sue, which was
Yeah.
your aunt, was also your stepmama and stepdad.
yeah, I mean, Barbara wasn't frying Shirley on IG.
Why
See,
was,
that's
exactly.
So you can keep it under
So
wraps.
you can keep it under wraps.
Once Willie Earl was gone, he was just gone. You couldn't find him.
But so he went a little deeper than that.
Shout out to Willie Earl.
He went a little deeper than that. He said, and he spoke about blacks in general, that we stayed in marriages, or blacks stayed in marriages back then because it wasn't selfish. When modern women are selfish, women in general are selfish. And again, I'm just quoting, ladies. I am selfish
Yeah.
though. But they are selfish, so they stayed in the marriage for the children. So he asked that pretty woman, like, if you had a child and you were married, would you stay in it for the child? And remember, we had
Right.
this
We
talked about
conversation
this last week or so, a couple weeks ago.
and I got ridiculed from my two co-hosts over here that said it's stupid to stay in a marriage for the children, and I'm like, not necessarily.
Right. I mean, and I would see it a lot, and I'm sure you guys have too. You know, I don't know if you remember, like, when you graduated from high school and everybody would walk across the stage and everybody's happy and high five. That Saturday, Monday, divorce is filed.
Divorce is
Divorce is
final.
final.
Soon as the
We
baby
talked about
graduates from
that.
high school, so
My thing about staying is just the fact that I'm always about just be happy. I'd rather you leave and go ahead and be
Right.
happy, because you spend
I was getting
all
to that.
those years you might not get back. That's a lot of years to invest.
So he said,
And just go be
so
happy.
In his head, in his statement, he said, we were selfish because we were worried about self. We were worried about our happiness. We're not looking at the happiness of the family.
Okay. But then he'll also back it out after you done got divorced and had them kids and
Right.
they grown, that you're not worthy now to be with somebody.
Right.
Because you didn't divorce.
Yeah,
So
it-
which one is it?
yeah, and I would just
So which
disagree.
one is it?
And I would disagree with him on that point. I think life is too short.
Yeah.
You know, there's no point being with somebody who they don't want
So
to be
that's
with
why
you.
we. So that's
I-
why we can never find. So that,
Yeah,
I'm glad you said what you said. That's why we can't, as women, find a traditional man, because they don't exist
Uh-oh,
anymore.
I think we have some
got
comments.
a question.
They don't.
got
Yes,
some
sir.
comments. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Is
sir.
Kevin Samuelson in a relationship?
I don't know, but
You know
I don't
what?
know.
I've asked
I've
that
asked
question
that
To
too.
be a
question.
relationship guru?
No,
a
I said the same
He
thing.
was seen
I
with
said the same thing.
I have-
he
where
was
is
seen
where is his body of work?
he was seen with Jenny Bobbas.
Well, listen,
I said the same
I like
thing.
his dresses
Yeah.
though. I
Yeah,
love
he
his
dressed-
dress
he
up.
fly.
He fly.
Yeah.
He
Pretty
fly.
fly.
He fly.
He is
and he-
now.
He fly.
And
He
he
is
said,
now.
and he
Kinda
said,
cute, too.
in a lot of it, and I know you've watched a lot of his videos
Yeah.
too. He's like, I'm not criticizing women for wanting what they want. I'm just telling you how realistic
I think
you
that,
are. You know,
because I think that kids can be was the resilient. Like, it just depends. It depends on what age
Yeah.
you pull up.
If-
Like, I've been there. I was married before, but my little one was very small. So when I divorced, she didn't know any different. So it didn't
Right.
affect her, because she didn't really know any difference or
Yeah.
any better. And
And-
she's fine and she's happy and everybody gets along and everything's good as being
and look,
remarried.
I want to say this too. I
And I
definitely
got your message, and we're out of VIP tickets, but I'll work on it.
and I definitely don't think that you should stay in a relationship that's dysfunctional or abusive.
Absolutely.
It should be,
I think
you know,
when
we've
you're saying
been.
abusive, dysfunctional, that may be.
Yeah. Now, if you're like, well, I want to leave him because he left the toilet seat up, I'm like, okay, yeah, you might want to work through that,
Right.
you know. And I think part of the reason with maybe a failing of modern women is going into it, men aren't properly vetted. Most of the stuff that I've talked to with women about, this is stuff he was doing early in the marriage or when you guys were dating. You just ignored it. And it's a problem now,
Right.
you know. And I don't think you should, because at some point you own the shit and you're faulting them for being themselves.
True.
First
And I
you
think
gotta own the
that's
shit.
man and woman, you know. Like, I can't be like, man, you know, Tina, I want to divorce you. You don't like salmon. What? You never liked it. I can't just wake up one day, you know, this ain't working because you don't like salmon.
Right.
I don't, you know, I'm out.
But that shit happens. So, all right, guys, I was being real nice, and we had that real good conversation. So now it's time to be our normal selves. So shit, fuck it. Now here we go.
What you have to say?
So we still on the same topic. We ain't got the topic 2 yet. Do I remember what topic 2 was? Yeah, I do. We gonna be quick on this topic because I don't even know what time it is. My watch stopped 7:30. So he said, and I know I'm finna start some shit. I'm good
Let's
at
do it.
I'm good at starting shit. He said, "What use are we to men other than sex?"
Shit. I missed that episode.
You gotta
Now, I
pay
gotta go back.
attention, man.
I gotta
Now,
go
look.
back.
What
look.
use are we to men? So what use are we, Delvin?
No, well,
I mean,
look,
be careful what you
no,
say.
look, I gotta-
Act like Tina not
look.
here.
What
Oh, just we have these conversations at home. If I had a cam, y'all would see all kind of good conversations at the house. But the old school comedian Patrice O'Neal, he did a comedy skit, and he asked the women in the audience, you're like, let's say you got in an accident and they had to sew,
couldn't have sex
they had to
anymore.
sew your pussy clothes.
I
That's the
have
only way
that
you gonna live.
conversation all
You
the
know,
time.
they had to show you your vagina clothes. Like, what else? What else?
I have that conversation about me, and like, if your dick fell off, what the fuck would you do?
Take the trash out, move furniture. You know,
I'm a modern woman. I can do that all by myself.
kill rodents.
I can.
I mean-
Well, that's where it becomes more than just sex. Your relationship
I mean,
is not
if
just
there is
that.
if there's
but again, we're talking about modern
if there's
women
a
and
tiny
marriage.
little spider in the house, Tina will go nuts.
That's your wife, though. That's your
she'll
wife.
call me. I'm at the lounge smoking. I just saw a spider. You have to come home.
But that's your wife. So, Tina, you know, I'm playing Kevin Samuel today. What use are you to a man other than sex? I mean, I might as well ask it.
I mean, I do believe that it's
No,
not.
no,
oh,
no,
okay.
no, no, no.
I
Answer
do
the
believe that
question.
sex is important.
But
I'll
what
say
use?
this.
But-
What use? Hold on, we gonna ask you.
Are we
what
talking
you're
about-
looking for a woman,
are we talking
what
about in a
usefulness you look for
relationship?
Yeah, in a relationship.
Because
You
we're
talking
talking
about a relationship.
modern women being marriage material. So what,
You have that
what use-
companionship. You still have the companionship. You still have the friendship. You still have the love. So even though you might not, because
So
there's
he's
people,
seeking love?
there's people that may, like you said, get in car accidents. There's people who have still remain married, still remain in relationships. Something may have happened to their other significant other, because that's not why you're there. You're not there because of sex. Sex is important. However, it's supposed to be a well-rounded relationship. It's not supposed to
So-
be, because eventually, even when you get older, some of that shit ain't gonna work the
I'm
same.
gonna be that asshole. You ain't
But you
answered
have
my
to be.
question.
I said for companionship as
What
well.
do you, Tina J, bring
I
to
said
the table?
For me, what did I bring to the table?
What made you marriage material, Tina J?
Said what?
I think that.
What?
I think that I was brought up so. Although I consider myself, I know Kevin wouldn't like that. He don't like when women call themselves boss bitches, whatever. But I consider myself being in my own. Like I have my career. I have all of those things. But I was brought up traditional, so I believe in submissive
So
to your
you're a
husband.
helpmate.
I am.
That's-
I am.
She
I
is,
believe
that's
I
facts.
believe in submissive to your husband.
And look.
And I believe that a woman should be able to know when to turn that off. You can still be the boss bitch. You can still be all
And
of
we're
those
finding
things.
a production crew.
But
Yeah.
you can still be a boss bitch. You can still have your career. You can still be a great mom. You can still be all of those things and still be a helpmate to
Right.
your spouse.
Now I
believe
will
that.
say, when the guys we're sitting around, you know, we're not saying, you know what, Tyrone, man, I want to be a boss bitch. We don't say that when we're amongst
No,
our. We don't.
women
we don't
call
say that.
ourselves- we-
Right.
we-
No,
but
no,
we
no,
label
no.
ourselves as
but
boss
no,
bitches.
They don't
don't.
say they want a boss bitch, but at the end of the day, they not just want a woman at home who's good in bed, who can cook and clean and
Yeah.
take care of the kids.
Yeah.
They do want a woman that's very successful too.
And strong.
Now some
Well,
people don't.
and strong.
Some men are old school, that old traditional.
Yeah, I mean,
if
man
he
got
that
his
just
shit
wants
together,
his woman at
yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Not
But let's
Or
be real.
just- no, look.
Do men really want a submissive, meaning submissive? They just at home. They don't work. They don't do anything.
Yeah,
they
look
just
at all
to your
these ball
beck and-
players.
Because
Yeah.
but guys start to. But
Now, look.
notice how they also cheat on. They get bored with them.
Now, personally,
They get
I
bored with
think
them.
you know,
because
kind of.
they put their they put the value of that woman into sex, and we've had this conversation it's sex is great.
Yes.
It's
Right.
wonderful.
But-
it's the eye candy that normally
Yeah.
90% of the time gears a man to you.
Yeah.
Some relationships is more mental than
Right.
sexual.
Right.
But it gears the woman to the man, or to the man to the woman. So sex is important, but when you get bored, or because it just gets not as we I think people in
Stale.
general,
Yeah.
I don't even call it stale, because you can have that same sex with another person And just because it was another
It's new.
person,
It's exciting.
it's new. It was the same
It's
position.
like renting a new car.
You
Like,
did
wow,
the
this
same
is nice,
thing.
handles well.
You went 2 minutes. I mean, it was
Yeah.
all the same. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it was the same. It was just a new person.
Yeah.
So, but you still love the person at home. So
Yeah.
Right. And look.
But it's still
here-
something about that person that brought something out of you that your person is not bringing out of you.
Well,
That's
and
still you have to
I
kind of
disagree.
see it.
I think at sometimes
I don't know.
when you find yourself in a mental state where you've mentally told yourself you're not happy, or because you're not happy, not because home is something
It's hard for you to
it's
come
hard
from
for you.
back from it.
It's just you then again you're doing the same crap you did with the other woman. It's just the new woman, and then
Yeah.
when she gets on your nerves and start doing what your wife ain't doing, then you decide, hey, I mean, it
I'm
works
done.
both ways
Yeah.
for men too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think partially because our relationship started off with distance, and I worked out of town for a while. You know, we had a lot of interesting conversations, and we share a lot of the same hobbies and interests. So, you know, my wife, she's just a cool person. I just enjoy hanging out with her just as a cool person to hang out with. Now, the spaghetti dinners are nice. The gumbo is awesome. But she's just a cool, like, we just enjoy each other's company and having adventures together, you know, outside of, you know, all the other rudimentary shit. And I even told her when we got together, like, look, I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. If not, you know, white knighting and all of that shit. But I'll tell you this, you won't be bored.
Yep. I think it's important that a lot of women get scared with that word submissive. They hear it.
I like
and
to say
it's like-
cooperative.
I don't think people
yeah,
get
like,
scared
and cooperative.
with it. I think people.
I think they do. I've heard a lot of women.
I
They
think
just
when
scared
women
of
hear
that.
the word
I'm not
submissive,
going.
they think of control, and I think they
Exactly.
that's
So
too-
they get scared of that.
they're not scared of control. They don't want to be controlled. That's not a scaredness.
Oh,
that's
But
that's a
submissive
dislike.
doesn't
I
have
don't
to
wanna
mean
be.
control. Now some
I
guys
agree
do
with you.
take
They
it
don't
to
know
that
the
level.
definition of
yeah, and
submissive.
some guys take it to that
Everybody
level.
misses it. I tell
You don't
guys,
want to
look,
be submissive to the wrong guy.
It's
You gotta
real-
do it to the right guy.
it's really easy. I tell guys, look, if you're on your shit, if you are moving in the right way, you always get submission. You know how you get it?
Please don't
Sexual
tell me.
attraction.
I thought you were going to say lay the pipe down.
No sexual
You
attraction.
and your fucking
It's true. I'll fight anybody. In no sexual attraction, no submission. You ain't getting it.
I
You
agree.
mean the woman has to have sexual attraction for the man?
Yes.
What if
Yes.
he just has a lot of money?
You're buying cooperation.
But it's submissive cooperation, right?
Listen,
still purchased.
If you pay
Still-
like
it's
you
getting
weigh,
it, right?
you
Because
pay
look,
like you
and that's
weigh.
why- and that's why I
Are
always-
we fucking for free again?
That's why, like the whole trope with the pool boy and the milkman, that's based in reality. Again, if there's sexual attraction and lust, what I always tell you, all you need is a bottle of Henny and an air mattress.
Can I take vodka instead?
That too, whatever you want. Yeah,
me
you
tell
don't
you.
need money.
Kevin Samuels
Money.
said,
Listen, I'll tell you this: money and game are not transferable. They're not. It's not the same money. And that's what makes lust and sexual attraction important because you can't buy it.
Original series to
A good solid game.
I know some solid game people.
Yeah.
But once you unpeel that banana. All right. Last week's topic, and we still on the same topic, but I'm picking up last week's topic. Said fucking for free was our topic. And that
do
was
it.
that was a hell of a conversation.
It was.
So Kevin
I
said,
hear guys say, "Don't do it."
Kevin said, men are not free, lady. Did
We'll break
anybody-
that down.
He said men are not free. We always talk about we come at a cost. You got to do this. We got to do that. You got to do this to make us happy. But at the end of the day, he said men aren't free either. What are we contributing to this man?
Look.
It goes back to are we useful or useless? I would bring up a church sermon,
Is
but
she-
since
does
we're
she
doing a
wanna
whole
be
bunch of-
No,
on-
it's not gonna go.
Not gonna work.
It don't
Yeah, it's
mix.
like, does she want to be a part of your program on the team?
Because he said pretty fades. Pretty
It
has
does.
no value.
And it
He said-
does.
he
It's
said
a
women should
depreciating
take-
asset, as we
Those
say in the
women
stock
who
market.
only think they are pretty and think that's the only thing that is driving
To-
them
to
Yeah.
attract
pick
to
up
get
men.
'em.
He said you are valueless because pretty has no value.
Yeah, and it's a depreciating
It
asset.
depreciates.
Yeah.
So men are not free. What is the cost to be your wife or to be your spouse or your lady or whatever? What is Tina paying? Because she's paying something.
You know, it's one of those things. If you're willing to put your time, invest your time, energy, and money in me. If she's not willing to invest in a man, then that's a problem. That's not the guy. And I've always because I've learned this from personal experience. If she's not willing to break bread on you, she don't like you. Women spend money on men they want. And I'm not talking about something crazy. You gotta buy them a car.
It's not just about the woman, because some women, it's just about.
Yeah, she's telling you.
Me, do for me.
Yeah, what she's
take me here, do this for me. Right. And men do like to be spoiled. They like to be pampered. They like to have all the same things.
We like to fake sleep and you pull out boxes to the side too. We like all that shit. So we fake sleep too.
Everybody does that. Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I played that game before.
Oh my God!
Hey, Tyron, what's about to go down? What's about to go down?
Oh my God!
He's queuing it up.
He's queuing
so,
it up. Well, listen.
So look, if I'm talking about it's a difference between a man flying. People are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fly out. It's a difference between you flying her out versus her flying herself out.
Yeah.
When she flies herself out, she's like, I'm willing to put my money where my vagina is. Because women will fuck guys they're not willing to spend money on.
Right.
So you spending money on me is more meaningful than me spending money on you, because I'm expected to do that.
Right.
You spending money on me is saying I am willing to invest in this man that I want.
Yep.
So 2 more points, and then we're going to get off this subject. He didn't get his, Delvin normally gets a little down. I think I intimidated him a little bit. He normally gets a little deep inside.
You was trying to get him the
I think it's his wife here. She, if it was me and him was just talking, he'd been like, sis, let me tell you. He get in that, see, never mind.
I gotta save something for the after dark.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. So the last 2 points he said, women are not accountable. And I know women, y'all like.
Nah, that shit's true. I agree with him 800%.
He says that when men and women break up, the man is always the one. He got to apologize for what he did and what she did.
Right.
So he wants to know. He asked the question. So, since I'm playing Kevin, I just asked Tina, why aren't we accountable?
I think that what happens a lot of times, like let's say a man cheats or whatever, that's okay. That's an obvious thing to blame him for. But there's something that happens still along the way that nothing causes you to cheat, but there was something that caught his eye that made him think, okay, I'm losing interest here, or something's happening here. They didn't talk, they didn't have a conversation. Maybe you wasn't into trying some different things. Maybe you wasn't listening. Maybe you wasn't showing interest. Or maybe you wasn't interested in him and you kind of let it go. It could be anything.
Because
not blaming the woman, not blaming the man, but it's
some
not
of that
always,
shit is brought on herself. Because what I've noticed, the part women leave out of that story.
Go back. Rewind.
Some of it, he's saying some of it is blame on the woman.
He's right.
Yeah.
Typical man statement.
No, he was. I think he was about to say why.
I'm about to drop something.
Oh, okay.
So see, the part that gets left out a lot of time, which is like, yeah, he was cheating on me. Now, do women say to each other, yeah, girl, I've been holding the pussy hostage for like 9 months.
They don't say that part.
See, they gonna leave that part out. I ain't sucked this dick in like 5 years.
That. No, I know I'm wrong. I cheated. But what she didn't tell you is that we hadn't had sex in a year. Or we hadn't had sex in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever like that.
That's to me, okay, this is where shit to me gets real stupid. Like, if you haven't had sex in a year, why? Like, are you asking her
Absolutely.
why? Are you trying to figure out why?
Absolutely.
Like, it could be a number of things, but it could be she getting dick somewhere else. Like,
could be that.
Yeah.
It could be that.
That's the stupidest shit I listen to.
I agree. You should always air your grievances out.
No, I think you're right. Communication is important, but I also think that not just women, men too, we get comfortable and
We're
you
not
get
having
comfortable.
sex.
I've heard some crazy shit.
Look, some people get comfortable and then they figure, okay, well, he ain't said shit. They don't know how to have that conversation. So look,
I've told Tina this story, and I haven't told it to your lovely viewers, but this is how a buddy of mine, he handled that issue in his marriage. You know, so he was telling me this story, and he said they've been married, you know, 15, 20 years. So he tells her.
Oh fuck no.
So look, he tells her, look, babe, you know, I love you, and when we got married, you know, I planned on getting a lot of sloppy toppy in our marriage. And I still do plan on getting a lot of sloppy toppy. And I would like you to be a part of it. Not. So if you don't want to be a part of it, that's cool. I'm just letting you know I'm still going to get a lot of sloppy toppy.
You can't hold.
So why?
You can't hold sex hostage, but then
why
also
wasn't
have an
she
expectation that nothing's.
But okay,
can't.
time out.
That's for women too. Now let's get it real.
Look. If it feels something like, you know, you ain't been.
I mean,
let's be real.
Sometimes it's opposite. The men ain't.
No,
but
absolutely.
It's the same reasoning.
Absolutely.
But look, all grievances should be aired. If it was a situation like, look, he ain't been washing his balls and you ain't saying that. Okay, we got to get all of this shit on the table.
I ain't had sex with you because your balls smell.
But let me ask you this
You got to put that out there.
If let's just say
wash your nuts.
Whoever your friend was, he dated this person for a while. And let's say they dated 2 years, and they were sexual or horizontal, as we call it. Now, at the end of the day,
what?
She wasn't sucking his dick in those 2 years, what the fuck? Like,
why you expect that?
It's just like a man when they say they want you to hang upside down and the blood rush to your head and fuck them sideways. I mean, did I do that before we met?
No, I have an
but
answer
we
for
talked
that.
about that earlier on.
I have an answer for that.
I'm listening.
He negotiated that deal with her. He owns that shit.
That's right.
You don't see. This is
That's
like
right. You
this
wasn't
is
up front.
This is like you trying to negotiate your raise after you've been working there for 9 months. It's like, look, the point to do that was during the interview process. You I know you mad about working for $10 an hour, but that's what you agreed to.
Right.
You should have had that negotiation up front.
Right.
Now that's presuming both people are being honest about.
True.
Right.
Look, these are my kinks and fetishes. This is what I'm into. If you don't want to, swing from the chandeliers, that's cool. I'm not the guy for you.
But that's
you
the
got to
hard
be willing to walk away.
Some people don't know how to have those conversations because they're scared to have those conversations.
In the relationship, if you hadn't discussed it, with
absolutely.
I completely
but
agree.
Now hold
at the point
hold
where
up. Relationships can evolve as well,
and they can.
So you might be into something different, but you do need to still have that conversation.
Deal breakers we talked about also
True.
a couple of weeks. I mean, all our conversations run together. But back to the conversation. If you go a whole year without sex, does it ever run in your mind like, is she fucking somebody else? Or is she sick?
Probably.
Or does it hurt?
Because most times women are sneaky.
Year?
They're sneakier than men, and they can hide that shit a
little
bit
confess
better.
to that bullshit,
hey,
well,
Tina.
I would tell.
It's the truth.
Hey,
it's the truth.
I tell guys, man, look, if you know
It's the
that,
truth.
if you know she is, it's because she don't care if you know, and you can take it to the back. I'll put that on anybody.
Yeah.
Well, I would always tell you.
So you're saying when women get caught, they wanted to get caught?
Yeah, she don't care if you know. And I'll tell guys, you say anything different from what I'm saying, you lying to them chicks or you trying to fuck them or sell them something.
What they selling?
Books, probably.
Normally y'all
Talking about you, Derrick Jackson.
trying to sell something, fuck, and what was the third one?
Just lying.
Yeah, those all come at the same time.
Yeah. So
I mean,
you should air, but now you got to air your grievances out.
You should. You should talk.
You let
Have a
the shit go on too long.
And check in once in a while.
Yeah. Like, hey,
your
you
shit
good?
may have evolved. I might be into some different
like,
shit.
hey, man, look,
so
I
check
saw-
in on that.
like,
Are
hey,
you
you
into
know,
this shit? This is what I want to do
You saw
now.
something crazy on Pornhub? Send them the link.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let me see you this link.
But you have to be able to be open to have that conversation. Yeah.
But now I will say this, and I think this is 100% on the men.
And then you're surprised and bewildered. Oh my God, I can't believe he did that. He cheated. But you need to have conversations.
Now look, I think this is 100% on the men for not creating a no judgment space in your relationship.
True.
She's not gonna come to you with her her Pornhub to-do list if she just figures you're gonna be judgmental and give her a hard time.
Yeah.
You know, because you're sitting there like, well, wait, when you learn how to do that, or why are you interested in that, or where this come
Because
from?
a lot of
niggas,
guys,
look, man, just calm down. Just be glad
Yeah.
you're here.
yeah. Some guys,
I disagree with that.
some guys. What I think what that's meaning is that some guys put women on these pedestals. So they'll put, especially the good girls that are really like the sweet girls. They real quiet. They probably little freaks, or you probably just don't know that. But put them on these pedestals, but then they'll go fuck some other girl because they figure that this woman not gonna do that
what
shit.
we said,
pretty
has no value. And if you put value in it, it's gonna.
Yeah.
But some guys do. They take that real pretty,
And then they get
gorgeous
a-
model
and-
girl,
and
put her
after
on
they've
that
been married
pedestal,
to
then
him-
they go fuck somebody else.
After they've been married to and had a couple of kids, then they like, I need some substance.
Right.
You should have married
Right.
substance. Too late.
You should have, but you married pretty.
But then what?
Then you
but
got
then
what you
let's-
got.
But then let's blow your mind more. The pretty little nice girl who they thought was not freaky and stuff, I'm gonna put on this pedestal while I go fuck this other girl. She mess around and go fuck some other dude. Oh,
And the
he's
game
bewildered.
is over.
Oh my God, he is
You
like,
double
oh my God, I
standard
can't
Negroes.
believe.
And that's
I
how
cannot
I
believe.
and that's why I came up with my infidelity prevention plan.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Now this is why he's called Delvin the expert.
Oh shit.
For men. It's not for women, it's for men.
Let's go.
Tell a guy, you want her to not cheat on you? You know, right? Tell men, you want him to not cheat on you? Be the guy she would cheat on you with. Be that guy. There's nothing.
You would have to know what that looks like.
Well,
If
you
you're
got. You
already
what
a
if
guy,
you have,
then-
What if she
You have-
cheats with several different kind of men?
That's a whole nother
there we
story.
go.
Well, then-
That's a whole other story.
well, then she just for the streets. It is what it is.
yeah. Yeah, that's
But-
a whole other story.
But
Yeah, alley cat.
could be. Yeah.
Okay.
But hey, that's what you signed up for. It is what it is.
Just checking.
Because look, she's not gonna screw around on you like, yeah, I cheated because he's really nice.
Yeah.
Nobody's.
Yeah.
years
You're
old.
right. Yeah, yeah.
It's not how the shit works.
That's true.
So
Maybe in some cases, but again, outliers don't make the trend. You know, if you're boring, there's nothing interesting or provocative about you or exciting as a man, then yeah, you're probably in trouble.
Yeah. Because men get settled too. They get
I
complacent.
mean,
too.
everybody does. Especially as we get older, we get used to things. We, just comfortable. Why do this or that when I'm just comfortable? I'm happy and content with that. And contentment is a word that has a lot of meaning to it. But we're.
I mean, you could have like myself, you could have a built-in level of ADD, and you just like to
Be by yourself, I know.
explore life, try new things, and see
by
what's
yourself.
out there, and what is on Star Trek, where no man's gone before. Let's go there.
I will say though, make sure your sexuality matches. When I say that, your level of sex matches, meaning that if you that girl, you like to get it in, and that's what you love to do. Make sure you find a mate that matches that same level.
Because a lot of you
Otherwise,
guys,
you
you are
gonna
not.
have-
A lot of you guys, you are
watching
not built for that
lust.
work. No,
Lust.
no, it's a lot of men. They say, oh yeah, I want a girl who's swing from the chandelier. The minute you
Ain't
do
ready.
it, the minute she do it, you in the corner sucking your
Ain't
thumb,
ready,
crying.
ain't ready, ain't
You know
ready,
why?
ain't
Because you're
ready.
not really built for that work.
You're not
You know
ready.
why you wanted that? Because you heard your partner say his girl swung from the chandelier. So you don't want your partner outdo you. So you see, men
Well-
have that ego where y'all got to be better
Well,
than the
part
next.
of it
That's
is part
dumb.
of it too is you overestimate.
Like, go hit
you-
yourself with a football helmet.
Well, you
let me know
overestimate.
how
You know,
that
you can
feels.
overestimate your ability. It's kind of like, yeah, me going to play in the NFL. It sounds great, but when I get out there, it's just, I'm injured. They broke
Don't
both
know
my
what they
legs.
doing.
But that's what I'm just saying. It's about ego. Like
Yeah.
that man really. Just like we talked about threesomes. Like
Yeah.
I
It's
think
about
we
him
were
being-
here the last time we
Yeah.
talked about that. We were talking about threesomes, and we were like, a man to be like, oh, I want another woman
two women.
and then when she started liking
With two
that all
guys.
the time, and she said, okay, I want
want
another.
another
Now
guy.
we don't want to play.
Oh hell no.
Or when she
Hey.
want to be with the woman more than she want to be with
Hey,
the man, you open that door. Be prepared for the door you open, like you open that door. So now she like it. Now,
Now you
you
wanna
mad
shut
because
it.
she don't really.
But I'm
They
like,
got toys for that.
I mean, sometimes too, it's like, man, look, you niggas, y'all barely having twosomes. What are you talking about?
Because they heard
your own woman.
they
She
heard
barely
Tyrone
like you.
say he have threesomes every other week, and he
Them niggas lying.
and you hold hold on. True story. I ain't gonna say no names, but Delvin was there.
I was? Okay. I probably
Yeah, you
was.
I ain't gonna. You say you want names? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, we're not doing no name. Y'all gonna get us thrown off the show.
Nah, we ain't gonna get thrown off the show. I'm gonna get all these messages. Ding, ding, ding,
Like,
ding.
how dare you?
So we were sitting around a group one day, and this dude wanted to tell us about all these positions he had done with women. And oh God, if I give a description,
Did it sound fake?
First of all, the person who was saying it, everybody in the room, that's when it's bad. Everybody in the room was like, this nigga lying. He know damn well he ain't pulled them kind of hoes.
Right.
But he was bragging on it. and your brother-in-law was like, oh, that nigga lying. He was doing that little thing. This shit is funny. I can't even tell. It's like, it makes the story bad because if I said who it was, everybody would be like, yeah, I know who you're talking about. But never mind. What I'm saying is, don't lie.
But most time when guys are just out there just talking on their dick like that, it's probably
most of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
You
don't have to
Stop the
brag
cap.
and brag and brag and brag and brag and
Hit
brag.
it again. What they need to stop doing?
Stop the cap.
I mean, half the time your own girl don't want to sleep with you. I mean, you out there, you want to showcase your disability to somebody else.
But see, that goes back to what we talked about in our last shows. You have to be honest with dudes. When they shit is bad,
hold on.
you need
You
to
know
be
what?
honest.
Tina
you need
is-
to stop walking. You
Tina
know how I
is
feel about that.
two-faced.
Stop
Tina is
walking this earth
Tina is
thinking that your shit is good. How?
Because the other day when we talked about this disability, Tina was like, well, it's okay, but you know, but then
Well,
on the
because
other
some
show,
dudes
when we
can't
were
help
talking-
they little. They
then we
can't
were
help
talking
that.
about
That's
cheating.
how they are.
On the show talking about cheating, she was like, no, you know, size matters. And
But
then,
yeah, it's like
by the
you-
way, I have a size matter t-shirt out.
Yeah,
she
pick it
do.
up, by the way.
She
But
do.
again, it's
But
one of those things,
some
you
guys
signed
can't
up
help
for
it.
that.
Some guys, that's just how they're built, so that's just what they working with, and that's okay. But what I'm saying is, that might not be for you.
But then today,
That might not be for you. So if you that woman and you know you can't handle, you don't want the small, you want something big, then be honest. You have to be honest because some dudes walk this earth and they think they shit is everything. Not just small. You can have a big one. You can have a big dick and still don't know how. What we saw last week?
all you just doing is pushing pressure on
I'm
the
just
surface.
saying.
I
I'm
mean,
just
you know,
saying,
he might be
you
in there.
have to tell people. Tell women to, hey, women are not excluded.
Yeah, like, hey, babe, you
When
know what?
people-
I appreciate
people
your.
have to know.
Yeah,
People
but
need to
I
know.
appreciate your effort, but the teeth thing is cheese
people
grater.
need
It's
to
not
know.
working.
People need to know. It's
Yeah.
the way you say it. You don't have to be mean, but you have to know.
Right, but
you can't keep going out there.
Well, let me ask you this, and this is I think I know the answer to this, but I want to hear from the ladies. And would you say some men are not coachable? Or do you even, at this point, do you even want to coach guys? Like, you know what? You ought to fucking know.
At this age,
Right,
at
now.
this age, I don't think
I'm older
in your
than both of
40s
y'all, and I
with your
haven't found
40s and
a
up, I
person
don't
that's
think
not
you should be
coachable.
coaching guys. I just don't think you should be in that stage of your life.
I disagree because
Oh.
I disagree for the simple fact that
Okay.
I haven't met a man that's not coachable. I've met men that are
They still need
different.
coaching at this age?
The reason why I say that is because if you meet a man who's probably been in a relationship
For so long.
a very long time, he's used to
Bet.
one thing or
I'll give you
certain
that.
things.
I'll give you
so if he then encounters you and you come with something different, not that it's all spectacular or anything that can be written on the board in heaven, but I'm just saying it's different.
I give
so
you that.
he has to be coachable so that you can show him what you like.
I give you that.
That's
Right.
why I
That's
disagree
a
with that.
scenario that I will agree with you on that. I will agree with you on that.
Next week she gonna say I ain't say that shit.
No.
But even on a guy, I think that's part of your skill set is what being able to do three things: adapt, improvise, overcome. You can deal with anything.
Never mind.
What you was thinking?
So
What you was thinking?
it's kind of like
They only have to overcome because they had failure.
well, that too. But
Oh.
you know, again, if you're a skilled enough operator, she will tell you everything you need to know about how to, push her buttons. You just have to listen. You
Yeah.
have to pay attention. Now,
Yes,
if you're
she
not paying,
does.
if you're not paying attention, well, that's on you. That's a
But
you
sometimes
problem.
women won't do that because they're afraid of putting the
No, I don't.
that
I
ego.
don't mean verbally. Her nonverbal cues.
Oh.
When you're actually in the moment,
In
you
the
have
moment.
to pay attention to what's going on. If you're not, that's a you problem. And even with the skill sets, letting your skills atrophy, it's like at your job. If you have any certification, you have to take continuing education credits.
Right.
Microsoft Excel is not the same Excel that it was 20 years ago. You still have to improve your skill set. You have to maintain your skills. Oh, well, there's a new version of this software coming out. I got to go get my credit so I can stay certified. That's a you problem.
All right, guys.
On the guys. I know I'm frying some of the guys, but I'm just saying it's on you to keep your skill set.
This go for women
It's
too,
the truth.
though.
It's for women too.
True.
This go
It's
the
the
other
women,
way
too.
around. I'm sorry. I've been bashing dudes. I'm like, y'all.
No,
Now-
The
we
expectation
women.
thing too.
Yeah.
Now
the
look.
expectation as far as what?
Like, okay, you got women who think they can take certain sizes and they can't.
And you right.
Hold on, get
you
that lady
right.
the
Some
microphone.
don't want. We said that.
And at the
No,
same
we said that.
Now
we
look.
said that a few
She
weeks
said she
ago.
need fun
No,
size.
we said that a
I
few
like
weeks
that.
ago. Some guys are small, and that works for some women.
But
I've
she-
known some women who are really petite. They prefer not to have a big dude, and
But
that's
she
okay.
said the fun size.
the fun
fun
size.
size.
I'm gonna start using it.
Can y'all
Okay.
get some measurements, because is this
What's
subjective to
considered-
different
First
people?
of all-
What's big? What's
First-
small?
first
What's
of all-
fun?
first
What's
of
not
all,
Tyrone,
fun?
you are right.
Delvin,
Because some
no,
women.
measurements are a relative term. I sell houses. I'm a realtor, by the way. Keller Williams, KGW. I said it right. By the way, but at the end of the day, I always tell people when they come to me and they say, "Oh, I need this square footage." Square footage is a relative term because it depends on how the house was built.
And
So I
made.
said
You
that
right.
to say it
We
depends
gotta
on how
clap.
that man is built, what he does with that skill
Absolutely.
set. Y'all know I'm gonna sit up here. Let me tell
Absolutely.
you. When he got that skill set, if he works it the way he's supposed to, just like any job,
Yes, sir.
satisfying
Yes,
a woman
sir.
is a job.
Yes,
So like
sir.
any
Yes,
job,
sir.
you take the foundation. You put your 2 or 3 cents in it. You build on it. You make a brick house. Same thing with
Yeah,
sex.
and you keep.
So what you're
it
saying
doesn't
is
matter,
that
like, I'm not
just
gonna say I
because he's
wanna-
not small, I mean, just because he's small doesn't mean that he can't make it happen.
Well, I was circling it through everything that y'all was saying. So like, how you talking about
Oh, we
men
off
got
that
to keep it
conversation?
sharp, so we got to stay up on what we got to do. It's a full-time job. Well, it's a job for a woman.
Right.
I
We
agree, but
agree.
remember,
You got to stay up on your practice.
absolutely remember what I
so you
said.
just said
I
what
told you to
Kevin
say.
Samuels
I said it too. Women cannot get. Men like to be cuddled. They like to be spoiled. They like to be pampered. They like all those
You
things
got my
too.
mic.
So women should give that the same thing. Sometimes women, it's just about them. Take me out. Do this for me.
Now
do
look.
that for me. And it's like happy. I say it a lot. Happy wife, happy life, all that stuff. But it's not just about the woman all the time.
Now
it's
look.
not. You have to be able to give that same thing to your man. So I agree with you.
Now touching on that and circling back to what Braun said, I'm tell you why it's slightly different. Because with her level of skill set and effort, she's non-verbally communicating to you where you stand with her as a guy. I'm on front of believe, it's like, oh man, her head is trash or she don't do this. No, her head's fine. She just don't like you.
That could be true.
It's totally
like
Some
true.
women don't
She
know
may
how
not
to
like
give
you
head.
anymore.
She may not know
But
how to
she
give
may not know
head.
how to
It's
give it.
totally-
She may not know how
It
to
will-
give head.
The spirit will
She
move
may not
her.
know. So sometimes you got like the teachable
You heard her.
moment,
She said
like a
they have
teachable
to be-
moment.
they have to be
Some
taught.
women,
That's why you have to be coachable.
I've known some women in their 40s who just don't know how to give head.
But you know what? Because the spirit ain't moving her.
It's different styles too. Some
is,
people
but-
like if
It
some
is.
people if somebody might be used to one thing, then get with somebody else.
But that's what
And
I
that's
was
a
just
different
saying.
thing,
It's,
too.
You
You were
have to
saying
be
that.
coachable.
You have
Because
to
how
be.
you like your balls rubbed and sucked may
That's
be
I keep
different
a
than
referee
next one.
whistle,
I'm
you
just
know,
saying.
in the
Some men
clipboard.
not want you
Call
down
me
there in
coach.
that little
Yeah.
clip. You know, the between the asshole and the ball.
Get-
You know,
get-
y'all
get-
don't want to
get-
talk about
get-
that
get the
shit.
flag on the plate.
Nobody
My
want-
ass again.
Don't nobody want to be touched. Some men, they like, don't play with me right there. That's sensitive area. Then the other man be like, lick it. Okay, so what do you do with that?
You gotta have those conversations.
Have those conversations.
Again, that's all predicated on we're gonna sit here and have an upfront,
Be
honest.
upfront.
We're gonna put it all on the wood. We're gonna put it
That's
all
the
on the
key.
table. Now the question is, yep, we're gonna put it all on there.
But listen to this.
Now some guys are afraid to do that. Women
Listen to
too,
this.
but the guy, like I said, you have to create that no judgment space.
Right.
If that space doesn't exist in your relationship, that's on him.
Right.
Well, hold on. Welcome.
Miles, Mr.
Mr.
Miles.
Miles is here and thing. Come on, man. Listen, we're at the end of our time, but our producers
we
still
are.
letting us go because they asking questions. So we won't get to the second topic. And I said, finna, not sorry, guys. We are not going to get to the second topic, but
What's
I got to
up?
finish this. Go ahead on.
What's
Mr.
the first
Circle
topic? What
Around.
are we talking about? I got
We
some
talking
shit to
about
say.
are modern women marriage material?
What else what else you had?
And yes, they are. It depends
yeah.
on your consideration of modern and who you with.
I think every woman is marriage material. To be honest
Wait,
with you, if
no,
she wants
you're
to be.
lying.
Hold on.
You're lying.
Hold on, no, I don't.
hold
No,
on.
if she-
Every woman.
Oh, okay, so
Hold
why?
So hold up. So T, real talk. Listen to me out. Every woman is marriage material if she find the right dude to marry, right? So
Okay, I
So-
can see that.
just
on.
because she may not be marriage material for what we need, there's somebody out there that's because they got a lot of chicks out there that we know we would never touch in a dark room, right? But there's somebody out there that got her pregnant and got married to her, love the shit out of her. So there's somebody for everybody, bro.
That'll make her
For
marriage
him?
material.
For him, it does.
Even with the right person, two car
Hold
accidents
up.
is just a bigger collision.
Hey, bro.
Somebody-
so
I don't know- they don't know how to work social
Hold up, you
media
can say this shit.
when we
Every
talking
house
about
ain't
So your
livable.
definition of marriage material
What's
is
your
just
marriage-
what's important to that person.
Yeah, it's relevant. Like
What's
so if
relevant to
somebody's
that
willing to
person's
marry and they
life.
willing to, like, there are people, like, for example, for me, I'm not gonna marry anybody who's argumentative and just wants to argue and be chaotic all the time. But I know a lot of chaotic dudes that love that shit. You know what I'm saying? And their way of showing love is arguing and fussing all day, right? So that's their shit.
And
They got
the day
they got
wife
some
comes
women.
home and they don't fuss,
Right.
they be like, oh.
They got some women who don't want to work or don't want to make a dime.
Yeah, don't make
but they
no
got
business
some dudes that don't want a woman that works at all because they make all the money. They want her to sit around and just
We
be his
just
fucking
had
trophy.
that. We just talked about
so
that.
there's marriage
So
material for
marriage
anybody.
material defined for him is just that
It's relevant.
it's relevant to who wants
Right.
to do that. Yeah. I get that.
all our
I can't
moms-
disagree.
I tell you this. All our moms wouldn't be marriage material for y'all.
I
Like, let's be
can't
honest.
I can't
You a
disagree.
You know
crackhead,
what
you're
I'm
not
saying?
marriage material for nobody.
To another crackhead, you might be
You're
perfect
still not
marriage
marriage
material.
What you
material.
say?
Alley cats.
Still not marriage
Alley
material.
Hey, look.
there
I
is
wanna
some
hear what
married
he has to
crackheads.
say.
Hold on.
I gotta hear what he has to say.
I'm not tricking. I'm just telling the truth, my nigga.
Usually-
Every dude that they quote.
Miles getting some brownie points on our
Some of
shoulder.
that DM love.
Miles,
being honest.
hey y'all, hey
I tell
Miles,
that
put your information out there now,
No, I tell-
ladies. He
I
right
tell it to
here.
any woman.
He
Hold
right
on,
here,
hold
ladies.
on, hold
Y'all
on.
want to come see who he is? We right here.
Because
Bayou
you
City
know,
Cigars.
Tyrone, here's the deal.
We in Bayou City Cigars, lady. Y'all want to
When
come
you
check
say
Miles
that
out real
shit, I'm
quick.
tell you what happens when you say that shit about marriage material and what it should be. You get a lot of women who gonna fake what you think is marriage material,
There
and
you
they not
go.
gonna be their real shit because we've
That's
told them
true.
you need to fit into this box. I tell anyone in the world, be who the fuck you are 100% of the time,
And let him accept you how you are.
And if nobody accepts you, nobody accepts you. But be happy being you, and then find somebody who will work with you.
Yeah.
Like if you say this is marriage material, because women are taught since they were little that that's a goal.
Right.
So they start
achieve
start
that before
preparing.
they
And that's
achieve
okay.
an
I
education.
get where you're going,
Can I
Miles.
say something?
But some things about some women may need to change. Just a few little
Can I
things.
say something?
Everybody need to change. Like we all
Yeah.
need to grow.
Go ahead.
That sounds good to an extent. That's great.
Yeah.
But at a certain point in time,
Yes.
if you're a toxic person inside to yourself,
Absolutely.
you're not
You're
marriage
never
material,
going to be-
not
I agree.
even to another
I agree,
toxic
bro.
person that will
Absolutely.
accept you.
Absolutely.
No,
You're
I-
still not
I-
marriage
but
No, I
material.
that's
will-
what I'm saying. There's a point where she still might need to change
There's a
some
lot of
things about
toxic
her.
married motherfuckers. People
Yeah.
keep marrying Robin Givens' ass. I'm just saying.
yeah,
Halle
no.
Berry, get her ass.
There goes the
beat on
problem.
every-
Now, Mr. Miles is correct. I know, guys. There are men that's like,
said it's-
yeah, man. You know, I mean, she slashed my tires. You know, that's my baby, though. I mean, it's the they into that shit.
Look,
She burned my house down. I gotta love her.
Every
I
day
love
of the
her
week.
so
She burned my
much.
whole house down, but we just gonna go get another one.
Let me tell you something.
Crazy.
I got homeboys. I look at their wives and be like, dog, I don't know why the fuck you do this every day. But they've been doing it for 20 years strong.
So
like,
they
you know
talk
what I'm
Talked
about
saying?
about that. Yeah, we talked
And
about
they
that.
are not happy.
I didn't say you. I didn't say be happy.
So why? So
I said Talk about. I agree with you. The point of marriage is to be happy.
Absolutely.
Supposedly. So
no, ain't no supposedly.
No, that's the point.
Ladies, don't listen to that.
See, here we go.
Now, don't listen to that, ladies.
No, hold on.
Ladies, just
That's the
exactly
goal.
what we told Delvin.
That's the goal, but a lot of motherfuckers fall short.
Out of it.
Yeah,
Hold
you
up,
do.
that's the goal, but
Listen to that.
a lot of people fall short of a lot of goals, right? So a lot of you talk about marriage material. A lot of people want to be like that. Doesn't factor in when
What
people
you
get
just
married.
promoted was be married. Don't matter if you happy. Just
I didn't
as long
promote
as you
shit.
married.
I didn't promote shit.
Hold on,
Time out.
Tina.
I said this shit happens. I didn't promote
he
shit.
Did promote it. I agree with him. And you know, me and Miles don't agree on a lot of shit, but we're gonna bring it back. So since Miles is here, I can just finish my little segment. We ain't gonna talk about topic 2, but the last point to that. So we were talking about our modern women marriage material. My last point that I picked up off of that was women marry up and never down, but men.
Ooh, I don't know.
Men will marry down, and then
That's true, but there's a reason why.
okay.
Here's the reason why. Women are taught the tangible list of marriage, right? Your tangible list is to get someone who protects, provides, pursues, prays, all that other shit.
Right.
Because that's what you need. Because it's a, for lack of a better word, it's a come up, right? We're going to get better together. So find somebody who can take care of you. Men are not taught that. Men are taught to marry for love, and we're going to be the providers. I don't think about what you make when I start dating you. I don't care what you make when I start dating you. Right? That's not on my list of shit. Because my thing is we're gonna take care of the situation. That's how we taught to be.
And see, that's how men think you're correct.
Because that's how we are. So I don't have to marry up because I don't have to marry someone who makes more money than me.
You need my mic?
Because I'm gonna give it to him. You have to marry somebody that makes more money than me because that's not on my list of shit. Women will say, "Hey, I need a man who. If I make $100,000, I'm not marrying a nigga to make 40. That's on the list. You know what I'm saying? For guys, if we make $1 million,
I agree, because
we're not looking at your
every
salary.
woman is looking for a man with money, and that's why when y'all start talking about dick sizes and what have you, they are not necessarily as relevant as we were talking about in this context, because we were talking about marriage. Men will marry down, and a woman is marrying up, and you might have. I'm not gonna say you have this. I'm like her. It's fun size. You might not have the biggest dick or the smallest dick, but at the end of the day, you got money. So I'm not really worried about your dick, because these women now, I've seen so many episodes of all these toy shops. So I mean,
Hey.
they look
Right.
Yeah, but you know
double A
what?
and triple A
But let's
batteries.
I hear what you're saying, but that shit's
Hey.
gonna get boring too.
And
That shit's gonna get
In
boring.
life, you're gonna get bored every
That
once in a
shit's
while.
gonna
And you
get
gotta
boring,
pick it
too.
back up.
A lot of women have marriages full of bad sex because of the list of shit that they marry for.
That's what I'm saying. But
So,
eventually, they're gonna probably go off and cheat
of,
to get satisfied.
And a lot of women will tell you that they're
They'll
not
take-
worried about
they'll
that part.
take that L.
They'll take that L for everything else because they want love and protection
wanna be-
and stability.
they want the comfort
all
and
that shit
stability.
that's not that big of a
But
deal.
they unhappy. And I've seen women
You gotta
do
be
that.
honest with yourself.
I've seen women
I've
do
seen it
that,
too.
but then they unhappy.
they call me.
Then they
No, I'm
call.
just playing.
You're right.
Then
I'm
they
just
come
playing.
back.
No, Mr. Miles, look. Listen.
Because eventually what happens is that if she's unhappy, then most likely he's unhappy too. Eventually the guy
Facts.
go ahead and
Facts.
leaves, and once he leaves, you're sitting there.
But you gotta understand
like,
this.
Oh my God, I stayed with you, so why couldn't
Look,
you have
that's
stayed
why I
here?
tell. And I'll jump in.
That's why I feel like you
That's
should
why I
just
was
be
man,
happy.
look, unless you've ever been the side dude, you don't understand women.
At all.
Grown people talking.
I agree with you, but that's because women by nature you're nurturers, which means you always gonna make things better, and you feel like I can always make this situation better if I work long enough.
Absolutely.
I've had women-
and then 10 years later you realize like, okay, this
and
ain't
you
getting any
wasted
better.
your good year, your
Right.
good year.
But that's not just sex. That's
Waiting
money.
around.
That's money. That's ego. That's
Absolutely.
self-esteem.
It's a lot of
It's a
different
lot of
things.
shit that y'all feel like I can fix
Every
that.
year is a good year, guys. Don't let
Look.
them talk about your good year.
Are you guys-
Every year is how you feel mentally.
Look, are you familiar with the term hypergamy?
What?
Hypergamy.
Man, that's why we don't fuck with you nerds. What you talking
No,
about?
I don't mean it's not an insult saying good years. I'm talking about years as far as women will stay in some relationships not married. They'll stay in them for years. Not married, no kids or so. When I'm saying good years, your good years to have. Some do though. Some of them do. Some of them want kids. Some
Look.
of them want kids. Some of them want to be married and stuff. But they're trying to force this to work instead of going to. be with somebody that want to be.
And
I'm not
always-
saying they do, but some of
Look.
them want to be married, but they'll stick to it and stick to it.
And that's
stick
why
to it.
when people say, "Oh, I make it work," we make it work. To your point, it makes my skin crawl when people say, "We make it work," because fuck, why? If I have to make it work, why fuck with you?
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, I don't make my car do car shit. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I don't make
Right.
my car work.
Right.
It goes. It
Yeah.
does what it's supposed
But-
to be fucking doing. You make it work.
And it's not gonna
No,
be.
it's not about being easy.
It's not gonna be easy.
It's
So no,
there's
you
one
go back.
thing-
You missed all the
It's
points.
not supposed to be hard.
You came
No,
in.
no.
You
We
came in
supposed
at
to
the
make
Come on,
it-
you
end.
gotta come
we're
on.
supposed to work together. You're not supposed to make him work.
But listen,
Right.
You understand
listen.
what I'm-
So
I'll make it work.
I'm gonna rattle off a little bit of the points we made, which you're referring to. So when we were talking about marriage material, we were referencing Kevin Samuel, and he said that women leave most divorces, or 80% of them are filed by women, and we are
But why?
selfish, and we never stay. When it gets tough, we leave. We run away. We don't
Crazy.
take accountability.
That's trash.
That's trash.
That's trash.
That's what he
Because
said.
that's
That's
a very
No, I just think that men want to wait until it's already over to fight
Nah.
for it, and by that time, a woman is
no.
exhausted.
Here's what it is. Here's
She
what it
done,
is.
but what
so
you
let's
work
be
till
real with
time,
you.
and now we have
what
to
Kevin
divorce.
Samuels is saying, what Kevin Samuels
that's
is saying
a skewed stat.
is let him cheat on you, let him do all
Yeah,
these
that's what I'm
things.
saying.
You
And
should
you
be able to stay
take it.
through it.
I
A lot
agree
of-
with
You
you.
should be
I
able to
know
stay
what
through
he's
it,
saying.
and that's some bullshit.
Here's the deal.
That's some bullshit.
A lot of men are like this. I got a woman at home I know is always gonna be good. She take care of the kids, take care of the house,
Right.
she take care
So
of me.
I'ma do what I
but
do.
That's that
over
pedestal.
here, so instead of me letting
That's
this
that
go,
pedestal.
and then also take the chance of taking half my shit, paying child support, I'll just fuck around. Women don't, for the most part, women don't do that. Right? Women work it out until it just doesn't work anymore.
Right.
And they've been through the cheating, they've been through the dishonesty, they've been through the talking down, they've been through all that. After a while, they're just like, you know what? I'm done. So yeah, they file. Most men just keep it here and do whatever they gonna do instead
The
of
man
filing.
won't fight. He'll keep going like that.
Yeah,
If
he'll
she
keep
allows
going 'cause
him
it's like,
to.
for what?
So that's what I'm saying.
It's cheaper.
We might be the higher percentage of filing for divorce,
Yeah,
but
that's what
why?
I'm saying. But
why? There's
that-
a reason why. It ain't just because.
That's a
Probably
terrible
the way
I've
statement
been
he
saying
made.
that. I know. I've been
That's a
saying
terrible
that.
statement
I
he
hate it
made.
when he said that. I've been saying that.
That's terrible.
That's terrible to say.
Speculation.
It's terrible to say.
All right, guys.
What you got?
It has some partial truth to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So listen,
somebody's filing.
I'm gonna let the experts say some closing points, guys. We have went way over our time, but we thank
Have fun.
But
we
it's a solid
thank
goal right here.
Our
Mr.
brother,
Mr. Miles
Mr.
blessed
Miles,
us.
for stepping in. You
Thank
guys
you.
shit on your pants, bro.
Hey, ladies, Mr. Miles is here. He gonna be here another 2-3 hours. Come on, y'all.
Miles, it's on your pants though.
Yeah, Miles introduced the jingle to the show. I got to credit him for that. Hey, what's Miles' theme song?
What you got, Mr. Expert?
I appreciate you guys having me on. This has been a blast. I hope we can do it again soon. We'll start off with Mr. Miles and the rest of the guys next time. But I agree with the overall points. It's relative to what you want. And I've never said, somebody was a bad woman or, she's, a bad person. She's just not right for me. She married him and she's great. I just didn't want that. So whether it's money, sex, interest, it all gets back to negotiating the best deal you can up front. And people don't like it when I put it in business terms, but you're negotiating.
I agree with you,
You're
though.
negotiating a deal.
I agree with you though.
You have to go into it and not only just negotiate with a potential spouse or partner, you have to negotiate in good faith. Have to say, hey, Kimberly, look, this is me. This is everything laid out, good, bad, and ugly. If you don't want all of this, that is me. That's cool too. I'm just not the guy for you. But we both have to come to the table like that,
Yeah.
in good faith and with it all out there.
Yeah.
And you'll always have good results doing that.
I totally agree with you. we are at the end of the show. I had some things going on in
Great
my
topics.
head.
You studied well.
Well, I didn't do a lot of studying. I know you guys. This wasn't as raw as y'all used to seeing with us.
I
but
think it was pretty raw.
I
Don't
think it was
hold back
very
for me.
informative. I think it was very informative. We got to hear some great. Listen,
Yeah.
we're gonna have the mad scientists on the show. We're gonna give you a topic that's gonna really, really work for them. Because I promise you, every day is a learning experience with this dude. Like I learned stuff, and I swear I know a lot. But I don't know
For
lot.
a while when I first met Kimberly, she, we would be talking, and
I don't-
first thing she said, "Who hurt you?"
You just have to be talking to Delvin. And you'll talk about something, and Delvin
Like,
will
are
be
you
like,
okay?
Nah, that's not the problem. The problem is lack of stupidity or some shit. Whatever. I be like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like, somebody hurt this dude for real. I used to tell everybody I have to be drunk to talk to Delvin because he's gonna say some shit that's gonna fuck me off.
We've had some vodka-filled moments. Let me tell you.
Say the least, the way she carried vodka around this bitch. She carried vodka in a bucket, in a Home Depot 5-gallon bucket in the
Hey.
trunk. Oh, can I say something real quick? So just like the initial part of y'all question about modern women being marriage material, I think a real problem is that we have a lot of modern men wanting old-fashioned women, and that's an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Delvin says traditional men and dealing with modern women, which
But
is why
these
most
men aren't traditional. They want traditional in their women, but they not traditional. They not doing all that shit that my grandfather did. Here's the reason I don't want my grandmother as my wife.
These are
It's just-
facts.
Right,
this
because
That's a
is
whole
what it
other
is.
part too.
your grandmother never said 50.
My grandmother
I mean,
had
your
a whole bunch
grandfather.
of wives and women and hoes.
And I don't
all
wanna-
that
I don't
other
wanna do
shit.
But your grandfather
That's
didn't
all
say 50,
subjective.
50,
Let me tell you
60, 40,
something.
all that number. He said,
My
I'm
grand-
the man of the house. I'm going to take
My,
care of the
my
house.
grandfather retired
Now
from the
y'all
post
go into
office,
these
owned two
businesses.
businesses,
Grandfathers wasn't shit.
came home, and fucking, when he walked in the house, didn't even go in the house. He changed clothes and went straight to the yard. That ain't the shit I'm doing. I'm just here to tell you. That just ain't my life. Like, you know what I'm
Not the
saying?
same.
He had 3 daughters, a wife, and a mother-in-law in a 2-bedroom house.
Oh,
That's some
hell
shit
no.
I ain't doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't even want, I have no desire to have a woman like my grandmother. As beautiful as she was, that's just not what I want. This ain't gonna work.
And Miles is right. Some of these modern men, some of y'all can't change flats. So, we got to work. Yeah, we got to work on that. You boys need to get out there and learn how to change the flat.
You didn't have to throw it on that like that, man.
It's the real shit. Like, I'm not even cutting. I'm be honest with you. I grew up in Beaumont, Texas. I cut way too much grass, so I would pay
Beaumont?
Hector every fucking week to come that $25 to cut my shit. Kiss my ass. I'm not doing all the shit my grandfather did. I don't expect y'all to do all the shit my grandmother did, and that's what, like, we have to make that adjustment as well of what you want. Like, we have to be real honest to ourselves
Have
on what we
conversations.
want and what we need, and have that
Yep.
conversation.
Have those
Just because you
conversations.
sexy and say a lot of shit I like, don't necessarily mean you made for me, and you got to have those conversations.
That's right.
Period.
And on that
Again,
note,
don't listen to your bro talk about how many
Don't
women
listen to
he
nobody
had.
in a cigar shop or a barber shop tell you how to date nobody.
No bullshit. That second time we ain't agreed today, bro.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
second
yeah.
time. But no.
We had a breakthrough.
Anyway, guys, though, we do thank you guys. Next
Yes.
week we will be back at our regular scheduled time.
Tuesday,
The
check
lo-
us out,
Tuesday.
7
the
p.m.
location to be determined. We kind of try to bounce around to give everybody special love. But next week we'll be back on Lipstix Podcast, YouTube, and Facebook and Instagram. Always subscribe and like on YouTube and like us on Facebook and Instagram. Tina, you got anything to say before we close out?
No, great show. See
Appreciate
y'all next
you.
week.
Oh,
You
and
guys-
if you got any topics you want the ladies to talk about, hit them in the
Always
DMs,
DM us.
send them in,
DM
send the
us.
topics in,
And we
suggest
will
them, and they'll get
discuss
to them. Yeah.
Again, before we leave, Houston Cigar Week, Memorial Weekend. It's gonna be an awesome week. I do apologize in advance. VIP tickets are sold out, but we do have general admission tickets, and no matter what ticket you have, you rocking with the Houston-based cigar clubs, and we are going to kill it that
Have
weekend.
some fun,
Be
Yeah.
here or be nowhere.
Yeah.
Be nowhere. It doesn't
Also,
matter.
You guys see our shirts that we have out here. We've been selling
she
shirts.
said.
So if
We
you
have
want a
our
lipstick
shirts
shirt,
in
DM us as
Black
well.
and
We'll
maroon
get
and a
that.
V-neck, and then we have a
Yeah.
tank top.
We got
which
some
I
summer
made.
ones come up too. He
I
told me
wear
about
a
some
tank
camouflage
top.
ones
Yeah,
too.
I
So
wear
I'm
a tank
excited
top
about
next
that.
week.
Yeah.
Gotta get my body
So
right.
hit us up.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in.
Peace out.
Lipsticks Podcast. We thank Devin, the expert, for coming on, and we will see you guys next week.
Good night.
Peace.
Hey, look, Puff, there's Bobby's video on TV. Hey, Bobby.
So dysfunctional. Oh, can you feel it? Can you? Like I feel it. Feel it. I'm so dysfunctional. Can you feel it?